Like many of us, I think I hold a lot of different roles. I'm primarily a painter, but I think that can be limiting. And I spend most of my time doing physical work, which can involve a lot of repetitive motion, doing a lot of daydreaming, and trying to be open to new things. It's difficult to think about painting in the context of this show. This work is coming from so many different places for me. I can sum it up by saying I'm struck by moments where the physicality of this world makes me take a step back and kind of blows my mind. So I would like to name a few examples. Looking through binoculars and seeing how space can be flattened. I really enjoy tricks of perception and perspective. The play between our minds and the world. There's a lot of room to explore, especially as a painter. Refraction of light, super cool. Seeing moisture on a screen that reveals what colors are behind the screen itself, what light makes up the physical screen. These are all moments that I can't get out of my head. Seeing chanterelle mushrooms again and again grow under oak trees and have that relationship. Watching a tomato plant succumb to a fungus. Simply just looking through a window. Watching a chicken's feathers grow back after a long season of molting. And watching the color of their yolks change when they eat a lot of bugs. Mowing the lawn. Cooking. Food in general. Sharing food. Sweating, too. Watching sweat turn into salt. Seeing light get flattened with a flashlight. And even thinking about gravity and attraction. Playing with the weights of different pigments. Chopping up vegetables. Seeing dark red shadows as the sun faces my vision, and wondering how my eyes are performing that magic. Seeing two little girls perform a funeral for a butterfly. Thinking about really how we are what we eat. And I would make the conclusion, or a conclusion, that I am looking for connections between places like the kitchen, the living room, the job site, the garden, the park, the studio, anywhere. I'm looking for physical grounding, whatever that means. And a little bit about my background. I grew up in a town called La Pointe, Illinois, which is a very small town, and I had a lot of freedom to explore until I was 6 years old, and I have a lot of great memories of that time. And when I was, I guess in my 20s, I moved to Towanda, Illinois. My cousin taught me everything from how to grow my own food, how to can vegetables, how to use a zero-turn mower, and I learned at ISU amazing skills that make me feel empowered, like using a table saw, helping other students learn how to use a table saw, things that get your heart racing. And when it comes to permanence, I'm wrestling with that. Painting has a strange relationship with permanence. I guess I like to think about starting over. taking something that used to exist as feeling anger, guilt, or even something that might look aesthetically unpleasing at first, wondering why. I'm trying to do things in small doses. So taking hundreds of tiny pieces, looking at them individually, looking for small moments in life, those experiences that stick with me, and wondering what is it about that I can't get out of my head. And I think the show is asking a lot of very important questions about physicality, material use, and our relationship to what we touch. And the artists in the show are looking at it from all sorts of angles, which is really exciting. For me, it's comforting thinking about when my time comes, hopefully that is a while still, knowing that I won't be preserved as I am, but changed into something else. We'll see what happens to the paintings. So the work in this show, mostly the small pieces, came from an evolution that started when I was at Oxbow, really, in 2015. I made a print of a plant, a sassafras leaf, actually, and it was kind of unexpected. I didn't expect the results to happen. It was kind of a process that I was experimenting with. And then I was exploring the grounds of Oxbow and found all these amazing mushrooms. So I began to make experiments with those too, seeing how each different mushroom would either absorb the paint or repel the paint, or which ones actually had their textures picked up by the canvas. It was pretty amazing to see. And that turned into a project called Fungi, A Study in Resilience, which is still going on now. I'm still finding mushrooms and taking them to the studio, seeing how they leave an impression on the canvas. And the work in the show now came from that. I guess I realized it doesn't have to be a mushroom for me to engage with it physically. So I began testing all the things in the studio that I had. It turned into a process that is still ongoing. I'm still using physical things like canvas itself as a material, and paint thick and gloppy and puffy and soft. Those are all materials that attract me, the stuff that I can touch that makes me feel like a part of this world. And when I say starting over, I'm thinking about changing the way that I work. I do a lot of ripping of canvas in the studio, transforming something into something new, which I think is something a lot of artists do. And that process involves piecing things together, seeing what fits, what doesn't, why, how can it be changed. It's a type of problem solving that's come to grow on me. The small works are generally meant to be held and touched and seen from ground level, too. They're meant to move and ask questions about preciousness.